Have you ever felt like you're under an intense amount of pressure and that people are just waiting for you to mess up, watching your every little thing you do, hoping that you maybe take a wrong step or mess up, and that people are just always looking at everything you think you do? That pressure can slowly build up over time and maybe force you to either rise to the occasion or crumble. And I have had to deal with this more and more ever since my mom has become the superintendent at Stanton. She is always at the school, so she always sees over everything and knows whenever I have a bad grade on a test or anything's going on, just to make sure that I stay out of trouble and keep my grades good, and I don't ever really have an opportunity to fix it because she knows before I do sometimes. Some challenges from this are I never earn anything on my own. Like, people always say I only earn things because my mom is the superintendent. One example of this was in baseball season. I was a freshman on varsity, and I had worked pretty much my whole life up to that point to get there. And I worked hard all year, busting my tail during baseball practice just to make sure I could do that. And I had people telling me the only reason I was on varsity is because my mom was a superintendent and she'd get the coaches fired if they didn't put me on varsity. And even academically, I've worked really hard to keep good grades, and I've exceeded in academics, and people just say, oh, the only reason these teachers like you, they give you good grades is because your mom is the superintendent. And it's very difficult sometimes. And everyone is watching every single move that I make. So if I mess up, it comes back on her. And I'm not, like, it doesn't matter if it's sports, it doesn't matter if it's in class, or the behavior. Like, if I were to slip up, they know exactly where to go because her name is at the very top of every single phone number list in this entire school, so they can go directly to her. And not only will I be disciplined by the superintendent, but I'll be disciplined by my mom. And it's gotten worse as she's kind of moved up the corporate ladder ever since she started off as a counselor whenever I was a lot younger, and even then she would see my grades and help me stay on top of things, which can be helpful but can also really make me worry about my grades and make sure that I stay on top of everything so it doesn't come back to look bad on her. And she's always at the school, so she always knows what's going on. One example of this is I was in class and I get a call from the office that I'm supposed to go down there, and I was like, maybe I forgot my basketball socks for the game that I had that day. And I walk in there and the principal looks at me and he tells me to close the door, and he pulls me in and he asks me why these two words were supposedly Googled on my Chromebook. And I look at the two words and it were very inappropriate, and it was something that I wouldn't do. And then I walk in there and my mom is already on a phone call because she had already gotten the report, and she knew that I had messed up before even I knew that I had messed up. And even though it was a spam email, just the fact that if I were to mess up, I'm not able to fix it on my own before my parents will be able to find out that I messed up. And everything that I earn is just because everyone says it's just because she's the superintendent. Doesn't matter how hard I work for it. And sometimes I feel like the only way that people will think about me is just due to the fact that my last name is McCowan, and I have a lot of pressure on me, and I need to build up myself instead of letting that pressure crumple me.